Hello everyone, it's Jonathan here, founder of Driving Academy. In today's video, we're going to be talking about top 3 expenses that an owner-operator actually has to worry about. So, when you want to become an owner-operator, that means that you own your own truck and you want to start your own business. But every business has 2 things. I guess any good business should have 2 things. It has revenue coming in, or sales, or money coming in, and then it has expenses, or things that you pay for going out, right? So, the big part about business is it doesn't really matter how much you make, it matters how much you keep in your pocket. So that means that you really have to increase the amount of money that's coming in and really watch the expenses that are going out. So today we're going to be talking about the top 3 expenses that any owner-operator is going to have in this operation. Now before we go into this, we're going to assume a few things. One, we're going to assume that you're a one-man show, right? Because as you start going into a fleet and start building up multiple trucks, your number one expense is going to be your payroll, right? So the amount of money that you pay to your employees. Your employees work hard for you, they deserve the money that they get, but it is going to be your biggest expense. So we're going to assume that you're just starting off, you're saying, hey, I want to get into this business, I see all my friends doing it, they're making a good amount of money, they're driving nice cars, they're living in nice houses, what do I have to do, what do I really have to worry about? A lot of people will talk about all the money that they're making, but most people won't even talk about how much they're actually spending. So top 3 expenses that we're going to be talking about today is going to be fuel cost, it's going to be repair cost, and it's going to be your taxes. That's right, taxes is an expense once you're an owner-operator, and we'll explain why. So first one is going to be fuel cost. So fuel is going to be something that's variable. The cool thing about fuel cost is you're really only spending that money when you are making money, which means you can't really be spending fuel if the truck is parked. However, fixed costs are things like insurance cost or truck payment. Whether the truck moves or doesn't move, your insurance and your truck payment has to get paid. So that motivates you to get your butt to work and get going. But the fuel cost itself is something that you can manage as long as you drive safely. So what do I mean by that? People who drive aggressively and raise the RPMs on your actual dashboard just simply means that you're spending more fuel, which means that you're driving less efficiently, your fuel costs are going to increase from there, and fuel prices don't look like they're dropping anytime soon. They just look like they keep going up and up and up. So it's super important that you watch that variable cost. The second cost that is going to be somewhat under your control, not fully, is going to be your repair cost. So when it comes to your repairs, things that you can do to mitigate the amount of repairs that you can actually do is do what we teach you to do when you're in school. So when you're here at Driving Academy, we have to prepare you to pass a 2.5 hour long road test. That road test itself is split into 3 different parts. First part is all about the inspection. That alone takes 1 hour to complete. And once you know how to inspect the vehicle properly, now you know how to mitigate and reduce your actual repair costs. Because if you're doing your proper pre-trip inspection, your post-trip inspection, and you know that truck like the back of your hand, you can catch things when they're small, which means the expense is much smaller to fix it, versus waiting till they get super big and now it's a $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 expense. I want to kind of give you an example. There's a truck driver that I know who's been driving over the road and all of a sudden his engine blew up in Nebraska. Now he's from the New Jersey, New York area. This guy, luckily he's been saving money and putting money aside for this incident. But imagine if he didn't. A new engine, especially out there that far, plus labor, plus everything like that, could cost anywhere from $15,000 to $25,000 just for the engine alone to get everything repaired. So imagine if you don't have that kind of money. Things can get pretty hefty. Now that individual, I know him, he's a guy who wants to take shortcuts. He gets in the truck, turns on the engine, as long as the AC or the heat's working and the radio's on, he gets going. He doesn't even check his truck, and that's what made that problem happen. If you're able to check your truck every single day and really mitigate everything that's happening, it really reduces the cost. Now am I saying if you're perfect at pre-trip, can your engine still blow? Of course it can. It's mechanics, things do happen. But if you want to reduce the amount of chance that you're going to have to spend $25,000 to $35,000 just on a brand new engine when you're out there and about, super important that you do check and do your job correctly, which is not just holding the steering wheel and driving, it's checking the actual equipment that you're driving, make sure you have all your fluids and everything in place. Now, if you are a smart owner-operator, the statistics are like this. So as you're driving, you want to make sure that you're calculating how many miles that you're doing. They usually say you want to save about 17 cents per mile, push it off to the side just in case a repair does need to happen, right? So as you're driving more and more often, that means you're accumulating more miles. You want to start pushing that to the side. Now that's not a true expense because you still have the money, but if you do a good job at the end of the year, now you have all this extra money that you were putting to the side and you were very disciplined in making sure that you did not touch. In case something does happen, you got it, but if nothing did happen, I can take a piece off the top for you, and now you just gave yourself a bonus, right? So that's going to be expense number 2 that you do have control over, that can get pretty big if you do not do your job. So the third expense that we're going to talk about that most people don't is going to be your taxes. So if you're a brand new business owner and you've been doing this for a little bit of time, you have to understand that taxes is a super important thing. It's all about the money game, right? So there's one thing that I want you to understand. There's a huge difference between an employee and being an employee or self-employed. An employee, when it comes to taxes, if you've gotten a paycheck from a company, they give you a paycheck after the taxes have been taken out, which means the employer actually writes a check, or you use whatever kind of paycheck service. We use ADP here, for example. So anytime our employees get paid here, the Uncle Sam puts his money in that paycheck, takes a portion out for him. Me as an employer actually have to pay extra on my end as well, just so, and then they get their paycheck as well. So employees paying it, employers paying taxes, and then you get whatever is left over. As a self-employed person or as a business owner, you actually only pay taxes on the profit at the end of the year, right? So who gets to decide how much profit you actually have? And that's you. So what does that mean? If you want to reduce your taxes as much as possible, that means you have to possibly reduce your expenses. How do you do that? You could purchase more equipment, and there's many different ways on how you can do that. Of course, I'm not a CPA, I'm not an accountant, so I'm not an expert at it. I do know how to get my way around that. But if you do want an expert and you are a legit business owner now, and maybe you don't really have your books together, maybe you need some help doing that, you want to give my buddy a call. His name is Brian. His company's called is Keeping Tax Basic. So his job is to keep things simple for you. His job is to make sure that you're guided in the right direction, to make sure you're paying as least amount of taxes as possible. He's doing cool things like if you rent your home, you can actually expense a portion of your rent as a home office expense. So you can actually have your company pay a portion of the rent that you're paying now at your house, right? And that's just one trick out of many, many different tricks that he does have. He's going to help you try to get your expenses down to zero. Because the one thing that you do have to understand is the more money you make, the more taxes you're going to have, which means that potentially can be your biggest number one expense as you continue to grow your company. And like I said in the beginning of this, it does not matter how much money you actually make, it matters how much money you can actually keep in your pocket. So it's very important that you give my buddy B a call right now. Again, his company is Keeping Tax Basic. He wants to keep things simple for you, make sure you pay the least amount of taxes as possible. But if you are interested in learning more about his services, all you gotta do is give him a call. Come on, what are you waiting for? I know tax time is coming right around the corner. He is super busy here. If he doesn't pick up, leave him a message, tell him that you heard it from here at Driving Academy, and he'll definitely be able to take care of you. So our mission is to help 1 million people get on the road to freedom, and I hope that this video gave you some education so you can actually get free as well. If you want more information about stuff like this, make sure you comment below, let us know what you want, so I know we're always putting out new content pretty much every single day. And make sure you hit the subscribe button and the notification button so that you get notified every single time we come out with a new video. Thank you very much. My name is Jonathan, and let's see you on your road to freedom pretty soon. Thanks. Hey, thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, make sure you hit that like button. Also, subscribe to our channel. It's really going to help us out. Click on that button. And if you want to continue yourself on your road to freedom, here's more videos to watch. There's endless amounts. Hopefully we get to see each other one day very soon. Thanks.